Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about a new trend among D&D competitors. And the trend is when you release your tabletop role-playing game to the world, on release, this is the first time it's available. Now they do PDF first, and then they do physical book weeks or months later. So why do you say this is a trend, Scott? Well, it's happened with two major games, Cosmere RPG, and there's absolutely no excuse for that on that one, because that's made by Brandon Sanderson. He has, on two Kickstarters, he made $55 million. That doesn't even, he's got to have hundreds of millions of dollars at this point. He's got to have well over $100 million, right? There was absolutely no excuse for this on his side. Then it's also happening on Draw Steel, right? So and both these games are saying we're out, and I'm like, no, you're not out. I looked on the shelf, and you're not out. There's nothing to buy, right? And they're like, oh, well, you can buy the PDF. And okay, if you're some garage band company, right? I get it. You to kind of plop out your game and put it on HEO and put it on RPG.com, sure, right? If you're just one guy, maybe 5 people on your team, fine. But that's not the case with MCDM and with Brandon Sanderson. These guys are, global corporations, right? These are real companies at real scale. And this is just absolute lazy garbage. This is a terrible, terrible trend. And the reason why is it's this there's this new term, Cory Doctorow came up with it, right? And it's called in blankification, right? And I'm going to change it because I'm an evangelical Christian and I don't want to swear that much. Inshaftification. It's so hard to say. Inshaftification, okay? This is just, it's very bad. And what it does is, everybody, with both of these games, there's a lot of components, right? And so you have to get this thing, and then you have to print out all the character sheets. You got to print out your own, a GM screen. And when you read it, you're just reading it on your dinky little 5-inch phone. It's bad. It's bad. And so in order to make it easier for the company, they make it harder for the players, and they make it harder for the game masters. This is a terrible, terrible trend. And one reason why I want to talk about it right now is we don't give Dungeons & Dragons its flowers. Dungeons & Dragons is really good and really powerful and really useful, and it does things right? And one of the things Dungeons & Dragons is doing right is it doesn't do this. It does same date release, right? You get the regular product and you get the regular product, and you get the digital product and the physical product. They have the same release date, right? And actually they do give the digital product early for high tier subscriptions, right? And there are not many of those, all right? And so getting it early is like a little bit of it's an exception, right? But and that's no more than a week or 2 weeks, right? These two companies, it's months, right? And then I think the other thing that's bad is you tell people the game is out, but it's not out. It can't be really bought, right? Not in any real useful format, right? And so I just think this is an absolutely terrible trend, and I really think we need to give Dungeons & Dragons for its flowers for holding the line and setting the level of quality, right? And I also think it's really important to understand Dungeons & Dragons is the #1 tabletop role-playing game in the world because it does the hard stuff, right? And it does the difficult work. it just galls me to no end that Brandon Sanderson is doing this, right? There is absolutely no reason for this terrible, lazy, low quality, distribution model to be used by a guy who got $55 million on 2 Kickstarters, right? He has the money to do it right, and he's still doing it wrong, right? I hate that this trend is growing, right? And honestly, I don't think this trend is going to stop. I think it's going to accelerate, and I'm not going to whine at you forever about it. In fact, I'm going to make a promise to you and myself. This is the last time I'm going to do a video on this topic alone. But and the reason why I wanted to do it is I just wanted to get, so many channels come up and say, oh, D&D's doing it wrong. Oh, D&D's doing it wrong. Oh, D&D's doing it wrong. When Dungeons & Dragons is doing stuff that people don't recognize, and it's doing achievements that other companies literally can't even spell, right? And other companies have the money to match the level of quality that D&D has. Brandon Sanderson could have done this right, And so I just wanted to say this once. I appreciate it, and I know this is a little complainy, but I despise the idea that this trend is growing and that this is going to be the standard going forward. I really, really hate this. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.